Hey everyone. So, I don't normally do videos like this, but they sent me to fucking Sweden to play the fucking game! Payday 3, so I thought I would, you know, maybe try this and talk about what I saw and why I'm excited, because I am excited. But first I'd like to just say, you know, shout out to Overkill Elizabeth for sorting the trip out. I mean, me and all the devs, me and everyone, it was crazy. Second of all, it's kind of crazy how I went from shit like...
So let's get some mods, shall we?
...into something like this, but I do want to say thank you very much for all the support over the years. I don't think any of this would have been possible without it, so I do really appreciate that. And bearing in mind that it's a beta build, it was apparently a month and a half old, so yeah, let's get into it. So for people who have just clicked the video, they just want to know how I feel about the game, very good. Very, very, very good, actually. I went into it expecting, like, nothing. I just went into it expecting, I don't know, maybe it'll be a little bit like Payday 2, a little bit better than that. No, it's hard to explain. You think you know what you're gonna get, and then you play it and you're like, okay, I'm completely wrong about this. All the mechanics are just so robust. There's just so many more quality of life changes and graphical improvements, and the music's great and it sounds great. Well animated, very intriguing storyline. I have no idea about that yet, but I mean, yes, so I fucking like it, okay? I like it. And I think you're gonna like it too. I know I've been a bit of an arsehole about a lot of things. I mean, if you know, you know. But yeah, it's very, very good, and it's going to be a very painful wait, because after you play this, I mean, going back to Payday 2, to me at least, is kind of, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, so it's very good. It's very good. So as for the general gameplay thoughts, I mean, the movement is great. I mean, you've got sliding, you've got vaulting, and even the character just feels a bit more weighty. There's not really that floatiness that I know Payday 2 has, the whole sprint, jump, crouch thing. But they've done a good job to not completely, like, abandon that. I mean, I found myself, like, sprinting and jumping a lot. For some reason, that just felt really good. I don't know if it actually made you go faster, but it felt that way. But sliding, I mean, I really love that. I was using that a lot. I mean, I use that all the time to get behind cover. It's just a no-brainer, really, to do that. Vaulting is something that you don't know that you need until you have it. I mean, I was honestly, like, accidentally, like, vaulting over, like, ledges and skylights, because I'm used to, like, Payday 2, you just jump. And moving on from that, I mean, the character's actually having animations, you know what I mean? Not just kind of awkwardly floating around, holding the gun in the completely wrong way. No, they actually are holding the gun like you should. They're reloading it like they should. They're sprinting. You can see them doing a full-on sprint. I mean, they are leaning forwards. They are going for it. And it looked pretty unreal to me, so... Sprinting in casing mode and crouching as well. I gotta say, the sprint in the casing mode does make it just feel like less of a chore. It's crazy. I mean, just being able to just, if you fuck up, restart, boom. I mean, it's a funny visual of like a load of grown-ass men just running into a bank, but I mean, hey, you know. It feels like no matter what you play with or what your skill setup is, I mean, it just feels like anything you bring weapon-wise is going to feel really good, because there's no skills that require to use like certain weapons to be good. They all feel good. I mean, I'm not going to say the balance is perfect, but I mean, it feels damn good. Cops are not bullet sponges anymore. They are pretty consistent with how fast they will go down across the board. Team play is pretty much back. Like, I think you need to play as a team to win. I mean, maybe on normal, maybe on hard, maybe you can make your way through without really cooperating, but if you want to beat Overkill, you gotta actually play as a team. You gotta, like, decide where you're going, why you're going there, what are you doing there, or telling your friends, like, I need some help over. The slow motion when you get downed is gone. Thank God, that shit was really annoying. Flash grenades don't blind you, they just stun you. I'm not even sure if they are a flash grenade or a stun. Ping system is not perfect, it needs a little bit of work, but I think the idea of having a ping system is a great idea. And I really love that you can just have more than one objective on the HUD at once. I mean, I know that's a pretty standard thing for most games now, but I mean, holy shit, it is like, thank God. And it just adds to the sort of the idea that you're always busy and you're always working towards something. You're never just sitting around waiting for a door to open or repairing a drill. The maps as well, I only played 2. They feel pretty big and open, but definitely not too big. They're pretty dense. There's always something to do, something to find. Also, pretty much every interaction has a minigame. There was a safe in the art gallery that I interacted with, and I gotta be honest, my mind was kind of blown. I expected just like a generic hold F to open it. No, you interact with it, you do like a whole safe cracking minigame. Was it perfect? No, it was a bit buggy, but the idea of actually, as a heister, being able to open a safe with your actual fucking hands and not a drill, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know that we had the opening the window one with like a little like blowtorch to sort of like draw a line to open up a window. I know the lockpicking minigame. I believe there's a minigame for the glass cutter now as well, and I think that horrible noise is gone from Payday 2. But obviously, you know me, I just smashed it open. But really, the philosophy for this game just feels like they just want you to have fun in a cooperative shooter and no more menial waiting around, spending more time interacting than anything. Pretty much everything that is interactable with seems to be like trimmed down across the board. And it definitely feels like drills are something they're just trying to avoid in general. Like, I'm not saying there's going to be no drills in the game on launch, but I would expect far less than we have currently in Payday 2. The interact key, though, I think does too many things. I mean, for example, if you want to take a human shield, you tap the F button, but if you want to trade them, you hold the F button. I just feel like I'd rather have those on separate binds. That's probably what they're going to change on launch. I only just thought of this, but you can actually close doors now. You can close doors. You can actually close fucking doors! So I want to talk about the narrative. There's bits that I know are true and bits that I am just assuming. Basically, the game just feels like some shit hit the fan. I mean, we had it confirmed that apparently the gang had an attempt on their life. Not everyone was accounted for. So that could mean maybe Rust is fucking dead. We can hope. But it also means that, you know, if a heister isn't there, doesn't actually mean they're dead. They could come back, but they're keeping it like a little bit of a mystery. A good way of cleaning the slate without actively saying they died in a massive fucking, like, explosion or some shit. They mentioned that offshore accounts canonically got wiped, and they're not even in Payday 3, so, I mean, obviously that's just probably more of a gameplay choice, but I like the idea that there's a real reason why that's gone. The vibe that I got was that it's more gritty. Payday 2, you run into a bank and it's like, wahoo, loving the music, having a great time, getting paid, what a great gang. This game is like, I don't get that vibe at all, you know? It was fun, don't get me wrong, but I feel like for the perspective of what the gang are doing, they didn't really feel like they would... they feel like they were kind of out of their element a little bit. They felt a little bit like shaky, like, where the hell are we? Why are we doing this again? I mean, that applies to the new contractor, or the new Bane, I should say, named Shade. Shade is a new character, a girl character, that is very well voice acted. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. I really like what she brings to the table.
We need to get past that gate in front of the vault.
I see a camera.
The gate's door is sealed magnetically.
This is just pure speculation on my part. I think Locke is fucking dead. I don't think he's here. Clearly something terrible has happened. R.I.P. Locke, if he's alive. Alright, look, okay, maybe he's not dead, but he's just... maybe he's in trouble, okay? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know what could really motivate the gang to just get back in this sort of thing, so... I'd have to say it doesn't really feel like the world is ours for the taking in Payday 3. Not to say that it isn't, but I know in Payday 2, it just felt like we could do anything, and... there was no stakes, and everyone was going to be fine, you know? It doesn't matter if you go to jail, we're just going to break you out in like 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. In Payday 3, we're out of an element, we go into a heist, we think we know what's going on, and then suddenly we're like, uh-oh, we need to adapt. I feel like that kind of transfers into the difficulty increase as well, because we're just so out of it, you know what I mean? And as far as like the crazy alien shit, Kataru shit, that is still canon as far as I know. That still happened. I believe the game follows on from that ending, but none of it seems relevant in this situation, so I guess we'll see. Definitely feels like the story is more grounded. And I can confirm Bile is back and Twitch is back. I don't know about anyone else. I don't believe that they are. Can confirm all the heisters have new faces. None of them are based on any actors, I don't think. I think they're just like made up to fit the character. They look a little bit more cartoony, but not like Fortnite level. Just a little bit not quite realistic, you know what I mean? I saw Wolf, and he looks absolutely unhinged. He looks like I would not let that guy in a bank. Hoxton also looks really, really smug, and I don't know how I feel about Hoxton. I feel like he looks like a bit too far from his original design. I don't think he looked bad, you know? I just think he looked different. They do look different. Dallas looks really good, honestly. Like, I think Dallas looks pretty good. He looks very old, I'll tell you that, man. And Chains, I didn't really get a good look at Chains, but that's a lie, actually. I noticed on Chains he had very defined eyelashes, so make of that what you will. And the design of the cops across the board, I'd say a bit more stripped back, but the visual distinction of certain units is way better. The voice actors, from what I heard, everyone is back. The lines tell a new line. I've heard Wolf. I think that the actor did a good job.
Check this in.
I don't think anything is going to replace the old school Wolf, but I'd say they've gone for a voice that kind of embodies the character, still sounds very Swedish, a lot of Swedish lines in the dialogue. Don't think I heard any screams though, but he did a good job. He did a good job from what I heard. The heisters themselves have unique body types, if you see in the promotional art. You know, Chains is massive, I know Hoxton is more like thin, and this actually applies to the outfits you can equip. They all sort of mold around the character in a way that looks really good. I don't think there's any heister communication. That might be in the final game, but from the build that I played, they barely talked at all, it felt like. I don't know. They definitely weren't communicating about the objectives, so I don't know about that one. Just fidelity-wise, it's such a massive step up from Payday 2. I really liked it, although it was played on a machine that had like max graphics. Don't know what it looks like on low. And I'm pretty sure face expressions are a thing. Now, I don't think they're gonna like be talking. I know that I saw some civilians like looking very panicked when you take them as a body shield. And I'd say the UI in general is definitely very clean. When it comes to like screen effects as well, that's been like reduced across the board. Very obvious when you get shot. Not on the level of Payday 2 when it came with that like bright flash. That's not there. Your armor breaks is pretty obvious what happens. Nothing that is really like blurring the center of your screen, I would say. I don't even know if there is a flash grenade. I think it might just be a stun grenade now, but whatever it is, you just stumble for a couple of seconds. You put your hand in front of your face. I think you can't move for a bit as well. I don't know, maybe that was just me being stupid. There's no tinnitus, there's no stun that blinds you completely, which I'm really glad about. Heists also have like a brief video intro just showing what's to come. Couldn't skip them in the build that I played. Don't know if you can on launch. The game in general just feels a lot more alive. I mean, you've got cars driving around. You can't get hit by a car, sadly. Civilians are having conversations everywhere you go. They're not just standing there doing nothing. They also comment on you bumping into them. Style-wise, I'd say the game does feel more like, a little bit more like Payday the Heist. I mean, every heist that we do seems like to be like some big set piece. The game is not easy, though. The game in general is harder, I would say. Less forgiving, more intense. This is gonna like kick you into shape, you know? The main two currencies in the game, at least on launch, will be money, which is just cash earned through heisting, and C-stacks, which I believe are the equivalent of continental coins, can be used to buy certain items. I can tell you right now, Payday, the whole screen with the cards, that's gone. No more like random reward. That isn't there, and that's not a bad thing. It doesn't need to be there because you just buy stuff with the money, with the C-stacks. So you have both infamy level and XP. Infamy level is what you use to unlock suits, weapons, customization options. XP contributes to unlocking skills within the game. And you gain infamy level through completing challenges within the game. Money is obviously what you acquire from just playing the heist, beating the heist. You know, you get paid. It's payday. You get the bloody money. You unlock the weapons, stuff like that. There's no more quantity system as far as I know. Like, when it comes to, like, I don't know, say you get an attachment or a mask, you just buy the mask. I don't think it's gonna, like, make you wait for another, like, RNG payday kind of thing. Items can also be unlocked through C-stacks. C-stacks are unlocked through money as well. I don't remember the exact values, but... And you might be able to get C-stacks through challenges as well. I don't know, I didn't really look through the page. There's also a weapon XP system, which is pretty much exactly like Call of Duty. I'm assuming you get weapon XP through getting kills with your weapon. The page looks like Call of Duty, you know? It has like the little numbers in the top right, and then on the left you've got a big list of attachments, and there's no more quantity system, you just have the attachment. I believe once you've unlocked them you can just equip them and unequip them freely, so that's good. Max infamy level is 150, so I assume at that point you have everything in the game unlocked. Didn't really look at challenges much though, so I want to be honest, I just didn't have enough time with the skill system. I mean, the gist of it is 21 skill points total, ton of skills to pick from. You can pick whichever one you want without any obligation, without needing to ace it. As long as you have it unlocked, you can select it. And to make sure skills are unlocked, you have to research a skill tree. And this kind of works similar to how perk decks work in Payday 2. Select it, all your XP goes towards it. Also, buffs have been streamlined into 3 mechanics called Grit, Edge, and Rush. And these can be activated contextually based on the skills that you select. But yeah, I'm going to be honest on this one. I mean, I don't have enough time with it. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want to discuss something that I'm not 100% sure about. So... we'll just have to see about this. Maybe there'll be a beta. We can look at it ourselves. We don't know. But it seems interesting. The experience that I had, it definitely does seem like there is going to be a lot of freedom with the skill system in this game, but also some really good combinations that you can get. Here's the secondaries, which as far as I know are just pistols right now, from memory that I saw. I wasn't allowed to take pictures, so... primary weapons that I saw, again, not sure if these are all of them, but let's go. Yeah, I gotta say, didn't use all these guns. I only had about 3 hours to play the game, so... no melee weapons. There's no melee weapons at all. I don't know if that's planned from, you know, after launch. Hold onto your butts. There is no more concealment. That is not a stat. That is gone. That's not in the game. Throwables, there were grenades, flash grenades, smokes, and throwing knives. So smoke is extremely useful because there is no inspire in this game. And as far as equipment goes, there's medic bag, ammo bag, armor bag, which is not the armor bag for Payday 2. This has actually got armor in it, okay? And the sentry, which I used a bit, but not much. There was also a stealth gadget. I forget the name of it exactly. I also forgot what 2 of them were. They're just like the more like stealth-oriented things. I mean, they're not completely useless and loud, but one of them was an ECM. That's back. And another one was like a sticky camera that you could put like on a wall, put it on a guard and stealth. They have overkill weapons. They're kind of like battle pickups from Battlefield. They arrive in a box and they have a really powerful weapon in there. You can't holster it or anything like that. You've just got to commit to it. Now, the 2 ones in the beta that are available, whatever the Signal 50 from Modern Warfare 22 is, and that is a thermal scope sniper. So, I mean, it absolutely destroys everything. I mean, I use this one the most. And the Piglet is back. You might have seen that in the trailer, and it's very good and satisfying, and seeing all the cops just go flying everywhere was great. You can only call in the overkill weapon when you fill up a meter, which I believe just fills it from getting kills. I didn't really check to ask. You have to call it up, and then the helicopter will drop it off, but I will say they kind of just seem to drop it in a random place. Also, overkill weapons, when you drop them, other teammates can pick them up if they'd like to. Everyone can see every single one that's dropped in, so if someone's greedy, they can go and get it if they want you, so, but I don't know, that's why they got the kick option. I'd say these could be absolute game changers. Always better to have like a surprise toy to just pull up like a grenade launcher or a sniper. Armor, this is a big one. There's no more suit, there's no more lightweight ballistic vest, there's no more ICTV, all gone, all gone. Now you have armor lining, which ranges from, I believe, light to heavy. So the armor that you use is divided into chunks, like little notches on top of the health bar on the bottom. The way it works, I believe, is that heavier armor provides more chunks. I mean, some interactions as well, they just go straight through the armor. The cloaker, they knock you down, they start beating the shit out of you. Gas grenades as well, they absolutely burn through your health, you gotta be careful with that. Dodge is completely gone, by the way. I did not see any way of, I don't think dodge is there at all. First aid kits, they are still in the game, but it's not a matter of just constantly placing them like in Payday 2. They don't heal all your HP, they heal a little bit. You'll find them around the level, or as resources when you trade civilians. In a way, it feels like deployables in Payday 3 are kind of like, I don't know, they are like the canvas, and then you want to use your skills to kind of really sort of pick and choose what you want them to do. Tactical reloading, so if you have like 30 in the mag, you reload, now you have 31, that's in the game. So if you melee in the middle of a reload, it's not going to cancel the entire reload. I don't even know if you can reload cancel. Recoil patterns. Recoil patterns are actually in the game, basically a little bit like COD right now, so you can learn the recoil pattern, adapt around it, learn it. The weapon animations are as good as they look. They're really good, they did a great job on this. Absolutely no complaints there, love them. Crutch weapon skills are gone, no more overkill A's. But in general, yeah, every weapon just seems to kind of just work out the box. I mean, it kind of reminds me like Payday the Heist. So the Payday 2 style drop-off that they experimented with, that I thought, honestly, was going to be in Payday 3, no. They've gone for more of a Call of Duty style with the damage drop-off in this game, it seems. Which I think is going to lead to a little bit less of that, like, sudden, just, ooh, drop-off that some of the guns have in Payday 2 right now. There's no ammo types at the moment as well. I didn't find any ammo types like that in the game, but they did say they were probably going to do that sort of thing post-launch. I know that some weapons had armor piercing. I'm not really sure what that means, what it does. I'm guessing that's dependent on, like, the weapon class, such as, like, the DMRs or the snipers. Well, there's only one sniper right now, but still, not really sure what to think of that yet. The bars are back. The bars from Payday 2's launch. For some reason, the bars are back. I don't know if there was a reason, but there's no numbers. It's just bars. Didn't really look into the attachments too much. The usual suspects are there. I mean, you've got the red dot, the hollow sight. I'm not sure if you had thermal sights. I feel like you might, but the attachments also follow a pros and cons system, like a plus and a minus. Lots like Modern Warfare, a lot like that. Grenades are now a quick throw, like you saw in the trailer. That is exactly correct. I'm pretty sure every grenade does that, and I would assume even the throwing knife throws out pretty quick. So in Payday 3, weapon customization is kind of crazy. I mean, you can get every bit of the gun a different color if you want. I mean, it made some really weird abominations. Like, you can have the charging handle a color, you can have the slide a different color, you can have the barrel a different color, you can have the, as well as that, charms are back, stickers are there. Didn't really care for the stickers, I'll be honest. You can't even say where you want them to be on the gun. I know there's also a color that is basically just a color remover. It just removes a color that you might have put on a gun. All the customization options seem to be available for purchase via money or C-stacks again. Weapon skins are also there, but they seem to be in like a preset sort of system, kind of like a blueprint system from Modern Warfare. Masks, I only saw around 10 to 20 masks in this build. Preset masks, which seem to be the equivalent of masks in Payday 2 that already have a design on there, sort of like a texture kind of thing. They didn't seem to be separate masks entirely from that. It seems like the presets are basically just customized versions of those masks, so don't think there's really much to talk about with masks. I feel like maybe the customization is a little bit underwhelming. It is basically the exact same as Payday 2. I was able to make a bootleg Houston mask though, so that was very important. For customization in general, you have gloves, suits, masks, and from what I could see, it seems like they were all available to purchase just with the cash or C-stacks. I would say in the build that I played, there was actually quite a good variety of outfits. The outfits are pretty nice. I don't think they beat the default designs of the Heisters, though. I think they're still preferable, at least to me. But they're nice to have. I just thought I'd also say there was a pair of gloves called the Thick Boys. So the difficulties in the game, with no more mayhem, no more death sentence, and I was going to upset some people. Back to basics. You got normal, hard, very hard, overkill. The health of the enemies, it's the same between every difficulty. And for me, that's huge. For me, that's like, oh my god. And I believe the higher difficulty you choose, the better the AI becomes. I believe the spawn cap goes up a little bit. Also, I'm pretty sure high difficulty, at least maybe just overkill, adds more objectives. I'm not really sure what they are. Overkill is no joke, okay? I mean, this is going to be a game where newbies go back to overkill. No, newbies go back to like normal. This is hard. This is a hard game. You need teamwork. You need to not be stupid. No more running out in the open and going down. That said, they didn't say they wouldn't add difficulties post-launch. On launch, overkill's gonna be the top. But I did find personally that regardless of what difficulty you play on, the gunplay is always satisfying. That's probably part of the lack of like health values changing, you know? The way that it feels like shoot a guy on normal feels just as satisfying on overkill, you know what I mean? The AI is night and day. They actually feel like a force to be reckoned with. They don't just feel like whatever the hell was going on in Payday 2. The spawn cap, in general, don't know the stats, but I know that it's massively reduced. Say there's no more situations where it's like a conga line of cops all firing at you at once, like thinking like No Mercy in Payday 2. They really, like, honestly distance themselves a little bit. They're sensible. They're aware of their surroundings. It's very impressive to watch in action, I'll say. I mean, as far as I can see, they have some actual logic to what they do. You have a room full of civilians. They're not just going to start guns blazing. They're going to take a little bit of time. They're going to be careful. Let's discuss some of the special enemies. So shields are... wow, massive improvement. When you shoot the visor of a shield, you can break it off, and then once you hit them through that, they stagger, meaning that you can actually shoot their body. The cops will stand behind the shield and not just push past it like with no brain. So what I found happening was, yes, you can actually stagger the shield, but once you've done that, you now have no ammo, you gotta reload, and there's a load of cops behind them, you just start firing on you. I mean, I was like, wow, wow, they actually have a brain now. They also melee you when you get close. Bulldozers. So these guys, they don't fuck around. Their shotgun will absolutely destroy you at close range. It is like back to Payday the Heist, like a Heist ending tier, you know? I don't really know what happens when they charge into you. I'm assuming you get like staggered or stunned or maybe your armor breaks or something. I wouldn't want to get hit by it. I mean, the best way to take him down is just getting multiple people to just fire on their visor and break it and just pray that you can do that before they actually like flank on you or something. So zappers are basically just spicy tasers. When you do get zapped, they have a wire showing you where you're getting zapped from. And I'm not sure if that actually reloads your gun or not. I don't really have time to check that. I would assume maybe, but, and as you saw in the trailer as well, you do shoot their center, they do explode. Grenadiers, I'm not sure if that's what they're called. That's what I'm going to call them because I forgot what they were called. They basically have the green gas from Payday 2. And that is no joke. That does a lot of fucking damage. You don't want to get hit by it. It will go through your armor, it doesn't matter. And yeah, basically area denial. They don't really spam the gas though. They do force you to get out of cover though. The sabotage squads. Now, I don't really know what these guys do. I asked, apparently... believe it or not, they sabotage. So in Payday 2, think of like Hoxton Breakout, the guy who spawns in and always turns off the fucking power. Well, I guess that guy got a promotion, and now they're a sabotage squad. I believe their main purpose isn't to actually attack you and take you down. I believe it's to do anything that can mess up your objectives. So they have Gucci drip. They are like black and gold. They're immediately recognizable. The snipers in this game, bit more forgiving. They always have a massive red laser that shines at you, and I'm pretty sure it does kind of highlight your screen a little bit when they aim at you. When they hit you, I'm pretty sure they just break your armor, and there's no more of that immediate, like, anarchist, like, just one hit and you're down kind of thing. The FBI van, now you probably wonder what the hell that is. Picture like the turret from Payday 2 meets Captain Winters. It spawns in a literal van that has an antenna on the top, and then Shade starts screaming her head off like, what the fuck? Get rid of it. You know why? Because it causes an infinite assault. What you have to do is just find that antenna on the top, take it out, and then you won't get the assault anymore. Cloakers. So these guys are very fucking funny this time. I mean, you've seen the design. They do weird-ass backflips and shit. They can sabotage your equipment. They will go to your deployed medic bag. They will go to your ammo bag. They will find it. They'll pour acid on it. It will go away. Tough shit. And when they knock you down, they do this animation that looks a lot like the Assassin's Creed, you know, pulling the knives out. He does that with the batons, and he starts whooping your fucking ass. He just starts going to town, and that actually takes health away from you. It doesn't actually touch your armor, so The idea is that if you don't get help quick enough, you're going to be, you know, down properly. Think of it like the hunter from Left 4 Dead, right? If somebody can help you before you get to that low health point, you'll get up without needing to be revived. So that's a very good change. I know HRT are back. I didn't really get a good look at them, but I know for a fact that there were people in Payday 3 trying to take the civilians. They like highlighted it when they do it. It wasn't like an instant thing. Also, I only ever saw one of each special unit spawn at once. I never saw 2 cloakers or 2 grenadiers. But pretty much all the cops in the game, they talk a lot more. They talk a lot more shit than in Payday 2. They're not scared. They're not scared. Why would they be scared? They're whooping your ass. I mean, that's what Payday 3 feels like. It feels like you're getting your ass whooped. They're also more aggressive. If you hide behind cover, they know where you are if they've seen you. They're going to push you. They're going to wait till you run out of ammo and you are downed. Every encounter is actually a fight. You know what I mean? It's not just like one dink, they're gone. There's also a final push. Don't really know what caused that to happen. Maybe when you're at the end of the heist or the last objective is complete. That is an infinite assault. I know it sounds weird, it sounds bad. As far as I know, I don't think there's any limit on when you can respawn when you're in custody. I think it's just like a timer. Civilians act a bit more human, as opposed to Payday 2, where you shoot them because the ragdolls are funny. They seem to always be having a conversation or talking about something.
On patrol. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, but they have this new one, that's all.
Killing civilians in this game is a lot worse. It affects your max payout. I'm pretty sure that it caps out on a 70% hit on your payout, which at that point, you've just got no money at that point. So, another thing, cable ties are infinite. You can just tie up any civilian as you see them. Assuming that there's been no shots fired after the cops arrive, you're able to trade them to the cops. I think you saw this in the trailer, and that will buy you a bit more time before the assault starts. Also, you can decide to keep the civilians if you want to get resources. They drop a first aid kit. It looks a little bit silly, but it gets the job done. They just basically poop out a first aid kit when you tell them to go. They walk out the door on their own, so you don't have to worry about it. You just hit the button, they're gone. I'm pretty sure they can't be killed if that, but it might be... No, they probably can, actually. Or not. I don't know, I didn't try. I was very scared of killing them, so... Also, I don't think hostages are used to trade people from custody. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think you just respawn on a timer. Move on to guards. So guards can carry keycards on their back they can take during casing mode. But guards also do count as civilians at a certain point. Once the cops arrive, the guards actually surrender. And when they surrender... If you kill them, they count as a civilian, which I learned the hard way. I was like, what the fuck? Why did I say I killed a civilian? And also, once the alarm has gone off, if you tell the civilians to get down, they all go down at once. There's no more constantly shouting, get down, get down, get down. It doesn't matter anymore. As far as heists go, I only got to play 2 heists in this build. I believe, think of it more like Payday the Heist style of design. Let's say quality over quantity kind of vibe. From the 2 heists that were there was one called No Rest for the Wicked, which is a bank heist that you saw in the trailer, and Under the Surphaze? Under the Surface? No Rest for the Wicked, that's the bank heist. Pretty sure this is the introductory heist. Stealth would seem very interesting here. We didn't get very far, but I really enjoyed trying it out. More on that later. But I would say it does play a lot of the trailer. I mean, you know, use thermite to breach the ceiling of the bank vault. The escape is in the street at the very end. You can also explore around the map and find notes that actually give you information for extra objectives, such as a deposit box that has extra loot in there. That also gets added to the objective panel. The thermite itself is also more interactive. It's not that you just put it down and forget about it. Once you place the thermite, you were given extra bags to throw in there to speed up the burn, make the heist go faster. Think of it as like a bonfire. If you throw too much on there, the fire gets too high. Too much fire, then the sprinklers go off. And then that's an extra objective that you have to do. You have to turn the sprinklers off. The thermite doesn't need to be restarted. It'll just restart its own. So there's also no drills on this heist. I didn't see any drills. I didn't see any drills at all. There's also a new mechanic when it comes to like getting money bundles out of the vault. They had die packs on there, which you have to go and defuse all the die packs. If you don't defuse a die pack, it explodes. The money is worthless. Escaping on this heist is a lot more challenging and a lot more teamwork. It's not just getting in the vault and then being like, all right, guys, let's just go across the street and put the money in the van, you know what I mean? And that whole area is a little bit more exposed. But I was going to find out this heist, I feel like it kind of introduces you like to the vibe of Payday 3. I mean, you go in and you think, oh, it's just a bank heist, you know, mask up, get down, go in the back. But the more that you play it, the more you realize, okay, this game has some new things going on here. I have a feeling that most people will fail this heist on the first try because you immediately realize, oh dear, I have bit off more than I could chew here. And the map itself was pretty big, but I never really felt like I was like lost or in an area that wasn't at least visually interesting. At least there wasn't something in there that I could actually get and use. There's also a lot of cover. For the gallery heist, outside of this heist, it is crazy. It's like a whole party going on outside. There's so many civilians. They're all talking. I found myself just exploring and having a good time. Just walking around, just looking at what's going on outside. It's actually visually interesting, you know? The stealth on this heist looked pretty good, but again, we had a limited time playing, and I wasn't great at the stealth here. But what you'll find in this game is that at least attempting to stealth is always a good idea. There's pretty much no reason not to. I always went through the window because there's stuff to climb outside because you can vault now. The heist itself is pretty open. I mean, it feels like a real art gallery size. It doesn't feel like shrunk down. You can also complete certain objectives if you know what to do ahead of time. You can totally do those. And there seems to be like a lot of ways around the building beyond just the obvious, you know, in the front door, up the stairs. I mean, there's like vents, there's stuff on the outside, a lot of windows to get into, and if you go loud, which I definitely did, there's a lot of cover, to be honest, a lot of cover. It's very close quarters heist as well. It gets overwhelmed pretty quick. I mean, they can strike you down pretty quick. I would get out of this heist pretty quick. Personally, I prefer the bank, but I did like this heist as well. But I do think stealthing the gallery looks like the most fun. I would definitely like to go back and do that myself. They have some crazy laser shit going on there that I've seen in some of the promotional stuff. So the stealth in this game, I mean, this is a big one. I wish I had more time with it, but stealth is always going to be an option no matter what you bring. It doesn't matter. You have to like pick a certain weapon. Everyone's on the same playing field here. Also, casing mode is like actually like a valid part of the game now. It's not just about, oh, mask up immediately as soon as you start a heist, you want to do it quick. It's actually very useful. I mean, first of all, you can sprint, you can crouch, you can also lockpick, you can pick up items, ping things. Pretty incredible how casing mode is actually fun. The lockpick minigame is a little bit like Raid. It's not quite like Raid. It's like a bit of a circle, it spins, and you gotta hit the button at the right time when it's on like a certain chunk. Pages are still there. I think the amount they can answer is based on your difficulty choice. It's not as bad because in general there's a lot more ways to actually handle the situations. So basically you could just avoid even getting into an altercation entirely. But I did enjoy what I played as stealth. They have like sort of like an area system. You have like public areas, you have private areas, and I think then you have like secure areas or something. Basically, in public areas, I mean, nothing you do will be considered suspicious, I think. If you get caught in a private area, a guard will come over and apprehend you and say, what the fuck are you doing in here? Get out. Follow him, and he'll take you outside. And you can use that as like an opportunity, like a legit opportunity to actually get the guard out of the way. I believe you can do that 3 times before you get arrested or cuffed even. I didn't actually get into one of the super secure areas. I mean, the text flashes red, so that's bad. I would assume if you get spotted here, you either get arrested or cuffed, or maybe the alarm is sounded, I'm not sure. Getting detected by a camera isn't just an instant fail anymore. I mean, I assumed it was. I got called by a camera. I was like, oh shit, lads, I'm sorry. Let's restart. And it was like, no, wait a minute. You can also, by the way, this is gonna blow your balls off. You can carry bodies. You can carry dead bodies. You can just pick up the dead body. Body bags aren't there because you don't need them. You can just pick up the body. You can also take down guards. You can do like a little animation to take them out silently without shooting. Don't get too excited, but you're gonna get excited. You can answer the pager while carrying the body of the guard. You can just carry them around, just talk into it. I mean, isn't that a game changer or what? I mean, come on now. Also, all the stuff to do with like hacking the cameras, like you can do camera loop with a skill. You don't have to walk up to it anymore. You can just sort of hold the phone near it, and then it'll just do it from a distance, a safe distance. There's also a skill that lets you answer a pager through a wall. But in general, it's like stealth is honestly pretty fun and interesting, and even for a meathead like me, I'm absolutely down to just go in and give it a go because it's fun, because you can. There's no commitment, you know what I mean? Like, if you fail, whatever. You just do the heist the way that it is. I mean, it still works, you still have your guns, you still have everything the same. If you got far in stealth, now you have most of the objectives already done. That's good. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. When you restart a heist, the RNG seed on that heist, it won't reset when you restart. So say if you were doing a gallery heist and you got used to the locations of everything, if you restart, they're gonna still be there. Stealth is a lot more dynamic, a lot less binary. It is very interesting, actually engaging to play. I mean, I actually will find myself stealthing in the game because it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like fun. It feels like, yes, this is good, this is what I want. You can also lure guards out. You can sort of interact with like a speaker. I think you need a skill for it, but you can interact with like a phone speaker and they'll start walking over to it. Stealth is damn good. Stealth is damn good. The loud gameplay, well, I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's loud, it's great, it's fun. The guns feel great. A lot of variety with the weapons. There's also no obligation to use a certain weapon class based on your skills. It's not to say that Loud is brainless, though. It's actually quite the opposite. For example, you're going to want to keep the civilians. It's encouraged that you do that. You have infinite cable ties. There is the mechanic where you can negotiate with the cops at the start of a heist. You can buy more time at the intro, get stuff prepared, you know, get the drill set up, whatever. Not that there is any drills. I didn't see any drills. But even beyond that, I mean, it's up to you if you want to choose to trade as many citizens as you can at the intro to sort of slow down the inevitable assault, or make sure the civilians stay with you and trade them for resources in the next control phase. And I'm pretty sure that when you go into custody, I believe that it's just a timer. The reason for this change actually is because you're going to be dying a lot more. The heisters in this game, they're a lot more nerfed since Payday 2. You don't have stoic, you don't have grind, you don't have all that OP stuff. No more lightning fast reloads and stuff like that. There's no OP like body expertise kind of things. I did think that armor bags were a must bring though, which is not a phrase that I thought I would ever say, but I found armor to be like the main thing keeping you alive in this game. I mean, when you don't have any armor, I mean, you're pretty much just dead. But you're going to run out of ammo. You're going to run out of like medic bags. You're going to run out of all that. And there's not that much like self-sustaining stuff in this game. I mean, the ammo pickup across the board wasn't too bad. Eventually, you will run out of ammo and you will get flanked because their AI is just smarter. They will flank you. They will push you. They know when you're weak. I don't know if this is like some coding thing, but they just seem to know. But generally, I feel like the difficulty in every heist just feels like it just escalates, you know? The more you hang around, the more you waste time, the more you don't do the objectives quickly. The cops just get better. I don't know how to describe it. They just get better. They get smarter. They send more special units. They start noticing where you're holding up. They start finding ways of getting in. They start knowing when to push. It just feels like inevitably, unless you get out at a certain point, you're going to go down. And the cops don't have eyes in the back of their heads anymore, so you can actually flank. You know, you can actually get behind them, get the drop on them. The music obviously didn't really have much time to really hear it. I mean, the headphones that I had on were turned down quite a bit. A lot more grungy guitars. I mean, there's still a little bit of synths there, you know, but not a lot.
You can get the thermite to burn faster if you add more bags to the fire. Just don't fucking overdo it.
Also notice that in stealth, it sounds like the music gets progressively more advanced the more stealth objectives that you complete. I've got an example here.
Stacks are rigged with die packs. As soon as the door opens, you need to move fast before they go off. Hurry, disable the die packs.
But I'm looking forward to hearing what the full game has on offer. I mean, that's at least 8 tracks confirmed. Apparently the game is definitely not P2P anymore, peer-to-peer. It does run off dedicated servers. I don't really have any extra details on that, but that is confirmed. That's probably good. That probably means no more desync. So talking about the menu, it's very similar to Modern Warfare 2019. I know it sounds weird. Tabs at the top left, they have like the social stuff in the top right. There is also a lobby screen. Just has 4 of the guys in there, you know, you see their outfits, you see the masks. I mean, it's the usual shit, but... And it looks like, I think when 3 people ready up, it actually starts a countdown now. The weapon previews are actually no longer like a white silhouette. They're actually like the proper model, like if you know the FBI files, that kind of thing. There's a vendor page, which is where you sort of buy weapons or tailor pack stuff like masks and stuff like that. Gage is back. By the way, Gage is back. I don't know if we're ever going to see him, but they made sure to mention, hey, it's Gage. Now look at the settings. I found options for motion blur and depth of field, I think. There's also options for hold to run, hold to crouch, hold to aim. You can toggle it. I didn't see one for hold to interact. Crosshairs are in. That's confirmed. I can tell you that much. By default, they're on. Customize them. I think the color, you can change the dot, you can change the width and all that stuff. Field of view in the game only maxes out at 90. I don't know if that's going to change when it comes out. There seems to be full colorblind settings in the game. Basically glossed over the controller page. I would assume you can rebind controls there. Maybe it's like presets, I've no idea. And the audio sliders, as far as I can tell, it has music, sound effects. I think I'm pretty sure I had dialogue. Might be wrong, I'm pretty sure I had dialogue. So the heads-up display, I'm not really sure what's going to look like in the final game. The footage in the background is a different HUD from the version that I played. I know for a fact that they're going to have the assault indicator in the top center of the screen. I know the objective indicator now shows more than one objective. I'm not sure if there's still a timer anymore. They might have got rid of that. You can now see when one of your teammates is getting tased, or when they're downed by a cloaker. You can also ping in this game. Buffs that you have will show up on the HUD, a little bit like Poco HUD, kind of showed up at the bottom. Also a radial voice menu with a few commands. Hit marker is there, but it changes color depending on the context. Not really sure what each color means. I'm assuming yellow is armor penetration. I think headshot is maybe red, and I know body shot is white. I have no idea. The overkill weapon bar is like self-explanatory. When the bar fills up, you press the button and call it in. I mean, personally, I like the way it looks on this footage, but if it looks different when it comes out, I'm sure they will make the right choice. They'll go for something more clean, more sleek. So, after all that, I mean, personally, the way that I feel about this game, I gotta say, I'm pretty damn excited. I can't even sugarcoat it. I mean, this feels like nothing that you played before. I don't know any game that plays anything like this. Fuck Crime Boss. No, not even close. Forget about that. Doesn't even really feel like, I mean, it feels a little bit like Payday 2, but it feels a little bit like Payday the Heist. It's just like they know exactly what they're doing. They know what works. They know what didn't work. They know what they want to go forward with. I mean, really, all Starbreeze have to do is stick the landing. Don't fumble the bag. This will be one of the best co-op games of all time. It is just, I only played about 3 hours of 2 Heist, and I'm already like, I want to go back, and I want to learn more, and I want to try more. I mean, to me, this is a game that I could do an all-nighter playing, you know? I mean, it is that fucking good. Maybe it's hard to believe right now, especially with the, you know, recent stuff that happened with Payday 2. Believe me, I know about that. Believe me, they know about that. I mean, all the mechanics are just more refined, more just fun, and less stupid, less sort of loose and floaty, and I just love it for that. I mean, I'm just looking forward to it so much. I just hope it runs on my computer, you know? Like, geez. And I hope when other people play it, they feel the same way. I mean, playing it with friends, within that environment, I mean, look, flying over to Sweden, playing that early access build, it was great fucking fun. But I feel like even with your own friends, like, just on Discord, I mean, it had me flashing back, like, the good days of Payday 2, where it was, like, fresh, it was new, there wasn't really a power creep, it's just really refreshing, and a lot of, like, moments that I feel like I've been missing in Payday 2 for a while. You know, stuff like, I don't know, a bulldozer coming in, everyone's like, oh shit, everyone has to readjust. Calling out what's going on, you know, putting down smoke grenades, trying to get through a heist on overkill, you know, retrying it after you failed. I mean, stuff like that. I don't remember the last time I've done that in Payday 2. I mean, I fail a heist in Payday 2. I'm like, fuck. Let it go back to the menu, you know, I just do something new. In this, it's just like it kept me coming back, and I really want to play more. Again, I did have a great trip. I really appreciate Starbreeze for sending me over there. I'll likely talk about that sort of thing in maybe a different video, maybe just in a stream. It's not really relevant to the game, so I won't bother, but that was fun. You know, let me know if you did enjoy this kind of thing. If so, I'll do more. I just want this game. I just want the game. I don't know. It's just, I need it. Thanks. Take care. Bye.